the purpose of each and every individual is the same, and the same purpose I have. And that purpose is nothing but to get rid of all the worries and enjoy life blissfully, and to get rid of this trap of birth and death. And that can be achieved only by self-realization. Or you can say the realization of truth, the realization of the fundamental reality. What is the reality behind this worldly show? That is the truth. And that truth is the same as that of my own self. So all these ashrams, they are meant for that purpose. The purpose which cannot be solved in worldly life by achieving wealth, prosperity, name and fame. You see, each and every individual in this world is hurried and flurried, and even he's so much worried that even he can't sleep peacefully in light. So ultimately, one thinks that what is the way how we can enjoy life blissfully. And as I've said, how to get rid of this, again, birth and death. So this Indian philosophy, which is known as Vedanta philosophy, deals with this purpose. According to Vedanta philosophy, that if we realize the self, if we realize what I am, erroneously we think that I am this body, I am this mind, I am intellect, I am this ego. But if you think deeply, you will conclude that I am not this body, I am not this mind or intellect or this ego. And everybody experiences in daily life. In night when we are in deep sleep, when there are no dreams even, there is no world, no time, space and causation. World totally vanishes. And even then, I remain there. What is that I? That I cannot be body, that I cannot be mind or intellect or ego. Because all these, this body, mind, intellect, they vanish in deep sleep. There is no world. There is complete chaos, complete destruction of this world. Name and fame, they are not there. No form is there, no name is there. And even then, I am there. For that eyes. It means I am formless. And when I am awake, we say that I enjoyed very much that deep slumber, deep sleep. What was that enjoyment? What was that bliss? There was no object in it. I was only there. It means I am bliss. And everything vanished. There's complete destruction. And even then I am there. It means I am immortal. I am formless. I am immortal. And I know that stage without intellect. Just imagine. During deep sleep, I knew. But there is no intellect. It means I am that which knows, who knows even without intellect. Intellect requires Atma, a reality, or myself. But I don't realize. I don't require intellect. So, if you see, every day we experience the reality. Then comes the dreamful state. In dreamful state, we see the whole world. And that world appears to be very real. But when I am awake, everything is gone. And we conclude that the total dream was nothing but a sort of illusion. It was not real. So according to Vedanta philosophy, this wakeful state, so I'm talking to you, this wakeful state is also not a wakeful state. I'm not awake. We are dreamy.
Hello, hello, hello. Sonny Davis here. So we're about to take a whirlwind tour of the mystical land of India. In January 2011, I traveled there with a band of merry misfits and a very special guide. As well, I brought my wheelchair with me. Being completely oblivious to what to expect, whether there be accessibility or not, I went there with the intention of going with the flow. And as I went with the flow, I was able to collect hours upon hours of video footage and, of course, pictures of the land, people, temples. India is just so diverse and so vast in its sensual splendor that every center, every dormant part of you that needs to be awakened is commanded to be awakened. Whether it's your sense of smell, sight, touch, it's extremely experiential. But only if you are sensitive to it. Only if you go there with a little bit of meditative mind, not just as a tourist. And so we went into the lands, we went into palaces and castles, we stayed in deluxe hotels. And the next day, we would journey down into the streets and visit with the poor and the diseased. It was a dichotomy, a contradiction to experience this world of duality. In India's terms, means to go from one end of the pendulum to the other. And we did. And the experience was enormous. There aren't words to describe it. I come back from India and people ask, well, how was it? Well, I could say it was great, or it was exciting, or sensual. But there are no words to describe India, because India is not just a country. It's not just a land or a nation. India is a metaphor, poetry. It's that place on this planet reserved specifically for the seeker of truth. And if it's truth that you desire, then you know that truth may not exist outside of you. And so India, for thousands of years, have been pointing to the inner journey, the inner exploration. And that's what we went there to do. And with this movie, I suppose originally the movie was titled The India Calling, as when so many people get interested in truth, their own truth, they gravitate towards the East. And so the India Calling was that calling that all of us feel, and certainly I felt coming from within me, to go and investigate. But really, what the experience turned out to be was a flow of experience, a flow of direct experience. And within that river, within that pull that gravitated our group forward when we were there, we got truth. I experienced direct truth. Beyond any idea, beyond any philosophy. As you will learn in this movie, it's not about philosophy. It is about direct practice, direct experience, if that's what you desire. And I desired to experience direct truth in a wheelchair in the land of India, where there really isn't a lot of accessibility. And so it was me having to access my heart's ability to open to whatever came up and just went with the flow. And so the movie is called The River. And so I hope you can watch, listen, and learn with an open heart. This probably isn't your typical documentary, but I invite you to listen and watch with new eyes and let whatever land may land in your heart and take whatever it is you need to take with you. For I just want to bring my experience to those who have never been or who cannot go to a foreign land such as India. So I hope you enjoy my expose, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you.
Our life is the expression of our inner potentialities. We project ourselves to the extent we know of our inner status. And there is much more to life than that which we are already living. Let us consider what more there is to life and what more can be lived than that we are living in the present.
So we're just about to board the plane to Rishikesh, where we're going to travel to the Himalayas. And I just thought I'd take a little pre-board nature stop in this lovely bathroom. And it's just funny, I just have to note that it's a handicap bathroom. I'm like, yes, they got a handy snack stall here. You know, just outside this door, they've got the wheelchair, universal wheelchair man. And the lock on this door is really interesting because it's like way up there, and it's a heavy door. And I thought I'd just point that out, as I'm always on the radar for those things. There's good acoustics in here.
खई के पान बनारस वाला खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला फिर तो ऐसा करे कमाल कि कर दे उसकी चाल ओ छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला ओ छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला खई के पान बनारस वाला खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला फिर तो ऐसा करे कमाल कि सीधी कर दे उसकी चाल ओ छोरा गंगा
हाँ हमारा भी फोटो खींच लो ना नमस्ते जी
Namaste. Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Come on, चलिए.
Hello. Namaste. And greetings. It's like January, I'm gonna say 8th. It's really been quite the time warp being here in India. I don't have a watch, and there isn't any clocks for some reason on the walls here in the hotels, or in this case, the palace. Good day. Happy New Year. It's January 3rd, 2010. I just arrived at the Vancouver Greyhound Depot, and I'm on my way to India. So this is phase 1 complete. See you in the motherland. So I think it's January 4th. Could be the 5th. Kind of lost here in a hazy daze, but I just boarded the flight onto Delhi from Amsterdam, and it's chilly here today, but we've made it, and I was just glad to board, and I got bumped up a little bit to economy class, which is sweet. Perks, baby. Anyways, see you in India. They've been quite the outstanding accommodating, and I'll say accessible, but this is what I mean. Although I've got my wheelchair, and typically you don't get a lot of accessibility being in a wheelchair in a foreign land, anyways. But that's always changing. But coming to India, it's not so much there's going to be a ramp or an elevator or a banister. However, when that isn't there, something in its place has always shown up. And so it's my access ability to, notice what shows up and roll with that.
India is a paradox. Constant images of contradictions. Hardly anything makes sense if one goes by logic. And yet, at another level, all seems to fall into place. Hence, if one has lived in India for a week, one can easily write a book. If one has lived here for a month, he or she can manage to write an article. But if one makes a year-long stay or more in this country, one can barely write a paragraph. That's how enormously complex India is. The contradictions can be seen at several levels. One can see, for example, overwhelming poverty on the one hand, and also a rapidly emerging middle class of consumers on the other. For centuries, India's contradictions have stemmed from evading individual and collective responsibilities due to a fatalistic interpretation of such significant concepts as reincarnation and karma. The point is, India cannot be described in any categorical terms, because India is not just a country. India is a mystery.
The servants here, or that's their positions here, and they've been remarkably over the top with just being there for service to me and everyone, of course. A friend of mine who's on our tour group here, Chris, who has been giving me piggybacks up and down the stairs and to our the restaurant where we're eating, because everything's kind of like over here. There's like stairs getting there and down and narrow hallways, so the experience has been I'm having to rise, but also to surrender and accept and receive. It's funny, I was kind of joking that when people are lifting me up in the chair and moving me, it feels like, well, here in India, it feels like I'm on an elephant kind of thing, right? And didn't we go riding elephants up to the Amber Palace here in Rajasthan yesterday? And so I've never ridden an elephant before, so that was amazing.
So I'm on an elephant with Shaman, and we're going up to this palace, castle. I don't know. We'll see where we're at.
120.
Oh yes.
120. Whole elephant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
120. Your whole elephant.
Okay. Wow.
If your elephant farts on our elephant, we're gonna have a problem.
Just with the group dynamic that's going on amongst our tour group, it's strengthening in a very familiar way.
A picture of me taking a picture of him.
Okay.
So
It's on right now.
From this side.
It's on.
Okay. All right. So guess what? We're here at the Taj Mahal. And there's just there's just so many human beings in this area right now, and
Watch out the ledge. Watch out.
yeah. Okay.
Sonny's the most popular one.
Yeah.
Everybody's taking pictures of Sonny right now.
There are
Sonny is just like the most popular guy.
There are people in wheelchairs here, but I think I've got the most fascinating one for some reason. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I think it's the handsome guy in it.
Yeah.
You got your entourage with you.
Nice, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so look at that. Take a look at that. Okay.
We have experienced, a lot of energy. The teachings that Mother India is bringing are deep, are healing deep wounds for some people. It can be vicious love, ferocious love, not vicious, but the lessons that we're all receiving are subtle and not so subtle. For me, they've been not so subtle, but on the subtle scale. Like they're on the subtle scale, but on the, just bordering in your face kind of lessons, And so I'm grateful for all of them. And I'm sure there's more coming my way. Of course, my intention is to take the whole experience in and not resist any of it. noticing my resistance when it comes up, especially in the the marketplaces of the village, where people are constantly wanting to sell you something.
It is not coincidental that whenever anybody is thirsty for truth, suddenly he has become interested in India. Suddenly he has started moving towards the East. And it is not only today, it is as old as there are records. Pythagoras, 25 centuries ago, came to India. Jesus Christ came to India in search of truth. And down the centuries, seekers have been coming to this land from all over the world. The country is poor. The country has nothing to offer. But to those who are sensitive, it is the richest place on this earth. But the richness is of the inner. This poor country can give you the greatest treasure that is possible for human beings. India is the only land in the whole world, strangely, which has devoted all its talents in a concentrated effort to see the truth and to be the truth. For 10,000 years, millions of people persistently making a single effort, sacrificing everything for it: science, technology, development, riches, accepting poverty, sickness, disease, death, but not dropping the search at any cost. It has created a certain noosphere, a certain ocean of vibration that surrounds you.
Or just, begging for money. It's out there. That is like there. It's so prevalent. It's consciousness here. People are wanting money in exchange for the service of maybe, pushing you just up a little curb. And, therefore tipping. Tipping is, of course, received graciously. But you ultimately don't get everything or anything for free. There's gifting, of course. But there's this awareness of there's an energetic exchange going on, between either the gift that they've given you or the service that they've given you, and it doesn't go unnoticed. There was a snake charmer yesterday who I just snapped like a 5-second clip of, and he put his little thing down and he's like, sir, money. And so it's right out there. We visited a textile company that was making prints and rugs, beautiful rugs. And the workers that were there, doing the threading thing and just doing the meticulous work in this big, scale of threads. And you'd hold up a camera, and the first thing they would do is this, They know. And if you didn't have a camera, they'd motion for you to take your camera out. It was kind of comical, really, but it's like they know. Somewhere down the line, they figured out how photogenic they are. And, maybe ultimately can make a living off of it here in India.
Oh yes. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Oh, wow. Video. Yeah. Hello.
Just because it's so fascinating, it's so sensual. It's just your senses are just blown wide open. Whether it's visual or the smell and taste and feel of fabrics, and it's like times 10 here.
Some Raja. King. I do?
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just doing some filming.
Enjoy.
So we just pulled up like in the dark, had no idea what was going to happen, and suddenly these lights went on all around this, what later to be discovered as this palace, and this wonderful greeting of throwing of flowers and bindis. So nice surprise. amazing. It's truly a different world. And so, amongst the swirling of energy and some of the decisions that had to be made regarding a tour member, and just basic all-around moving along here in this land is such a wild journey trip on its own. India, the motherland of the University of the Soul, has ancient and a long lineage of wisdom to share with anyone that's here to see. And there's no way you can't. There's no way you can leave India the same person you arrived. I'm already changed. I already feel the shift in me. Maybe I had to come here to witness that firsthand, to see suffering, to experience bartering. They're in the barter system here. And so it's only day 3 and it feels like we've been here for 3 weeks. And we've got, 14 more days to go. So just checking in, and until next time, namaste.
Yes.